right now. Well, I guess when Usher made the hit song Let It Burn, he was singing from experience. Plus, turning your body into a scanning device for convenience and Cheetos? Come on, y'all, let's talk about this. Welcome to the chat.
Welcome to the chat. I'm Tony Fox. Henny Angelia, guest host, Dr. Roxanne Lowe joined the panel today. Yay! How is everybody? Are we all surviving a Monday?
I'm ready for Friday.
We're getting there.
That's all I got to say.
That is the same thing my co-host said this morning on the radio. I'm ready for Friday.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it's already Monday.
It's
only
Monday.
Monday.
Where I don't have to work anymore.
Yeah.
I'm at that point in life. I'm ready to coast on my way into
I think we all are ready for that. That's why we all play the lottery once in a while and have that dream, you know. No, maybe you should.
If I don't win, I want my dollar back, so I just stay away from it.
Yeah, that's a problem because they no refunds.
Poor loser.
No refunds on the loser. All right, well, let's jump right in with yet another celebrity in legal trouble. Usher is now facing a $10 million lawsuit from a second woman alleging he infected her with herpes. According to Radar Online, this comes after the star shelled out $1.1 million to another woman who accused him of the same thing back in 2010. The report says the singer did not tell the woman he had an STD. Now, high-profile attorney Lisa Bloom says several women are reaching out to her with the same claims against Usher. So, 1 multiplies to 2, and supposedly there are others. But it is from Radar Online, and they're quite the tabloids.
But there's a few other media outlets. I mean, it's all over. I mean, he can't run from this one. So the first one I believed. I did. When the first woman came out and came forth that
you believe that he gave it to her?
Absolutely, and he paid her the 1.1 million. Yeah. Absolutely, I did. But then when the second one came forward, and I start thinking, wait a minute. They probably see this can be an easy target, get money out of him, until I start reading more into the second woman who made claims against him. And don't get me wrong, under any way, shape, form, circumstance whatsoever, am I condoning what happened. But I will say number 2 is nasty, because she had sex with him on April 16th at her home. They hooked up in Atlanta. 12 days later, they hooked up in New Orleans at a hotel, and they had sex again. They had unprotected sex. So how is it that within 12 days, you think that it's okay to go all raw dog, willy-nilly with Usher, with any celebrity? You are to blame for that one, because as a woman, you should have more respect for your body and know not to lay down with any man after 12 days. I'm sorry.
Yeah, how about the fact that he was married? Let's do that as a side note.
If he had a virus.
She was a stylist, and she knew he was married.
But if he had a virus and he had an outbreak going on, I'm sorry, no. Like, I get it. She should have done that, but that's
I'm not blaming her. I'm just saying she's nasty. Shame on him, because he knew he had this and he chose not to. When she asked about it, he said,
she did ask him?
Yes, he said he was negative, everything was good, even though he had some green stuff oozing.
Oh my God.
But he said he was good and everything checked out, and she said, okay.
Well,
what?
Let's also clarify her age. She's 38 years old. Okay, she's not 16 years old. She's not 28 years old. Yeah. She's not 18. You know, she's old enough
well, we
to
can all know better, but we've all made mistakes.
Not when my life is on the line.
And 58, we've all made
mistakes for sure. But when I know that if I am involved with a man who is a celebrity as sexy and fine as Usher, who you know good and darn well you're not the only one he's laying up with, and you still
maybe
choose.
She thinks she is.
Well, maybe he got the right one then, the one who ain't gonna ask a whole lot of questions. But you should know better. She should know better. But once again, not condoning what happened. He paid out the money, and now Lisa Bloom claims last week so many other women contacted her saying, oh, I had it too, and he gave it to me too. So this is just a big nasty train.
But the thing was, just reading online, that every article that I was reading, she's actually not saying that she contracted an STD. She's actually claiming distress and depression, and she's claiming
from wondering if she did?
Wondering, because this information came out about the last one who got the $1.1 million settlement. She's now stressed out beyond belief that she may have it. So
well, you can get tested. Has she not been tested?
No. So in the court documents, that everything that I read I was trying to see if she did contract it. That's a different scenario if she did versus if she thinks she did.
Well, she should go get
and
tested if she doesn't know.
And if she's just suing. So the thing is, that's what I'm saying. If she did contract it, so get your test done, put that in the court papers, and then, you know, go for your civil suit. But before not knowing, I think that that's really odd, and that's where I'm laying on the side of she's just trying to get $10 million out of Usher.
Of course.
So I think she knew darn well what she was doing at 38 years old. She did it once, and then she did it again, and I think she knew darn well where she was going with that. So
let it burn.
I don't know that I feel too sorry for her.
It's all sounding a bit shady. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we're going to switch gears to something else trending today. A company whose leaders say they plan to microchip their employees. Now, before you panic, the Wisconsin tech company says this will be optional and voluntary. So if the employee opts in, the microchips will be used to scan into the building, so get them into work, and buy food at work. Vending machine. You know, how many times does a vending machine not work and you're like, I don't have exact change? The company's CEO says microchipping is the next thing that's inevitably going to happen, and they want to be a part of it. Oh my gosh. Who here, raise your hands, would you get microchipped for your company?
It depends on the perks.
Okay,
it
so
depends on the
you're
perks.
a maybe and we're no.
Because,
oh God,
because
I gotta hear
as I
this.
read on
I'm
about
not
this
no.
story,
I'm H no.
No,
Right.
as you
Yes,
read on
go
about
ahead.
this story, Sweden's kind of taking over the technology market with this, and they're trying to do this. And so there's another company in Sweden who has done this, so that they have access to a place called the Epicenter, and they're able to access and they're able to get free memberships for gyms because they're the trial. They're the guinea pigs, if you will.
What you're saying is, depending on how much free stuff you could get, you will do it.
Yeah, why not?
Okay,
And I say that because, I did that to my dog. So my dog, whenever I got my dog, so you're okay with doing it to your animal, but you're not okay doing it to yourself?
Well, he might run away.
Tony! Oh, that's bad.
How far are we going to go for convenience?
Right.
You know,
Not for no darn Cheetos.
Or free stuff.
And really, it's to be able to walk in and not, you know, clock our time card or swipe a card for our junk food that we want to get. You know, I think at some point we have to ask ourselves, you know, we can be responsible for these things. We're making things easier and easier and easier to the point where people have no human responsibility involved. They don't take ownership for everything. And I still remember my mom, shout out to my mom, mathematician, she was so against using calculators at a young age for kids because she's like,
I agree.
this is something you can do yourself. And we don't want to strip people of that.
Some people can, some can't.
That's right.
Now believe in yourself.
I don't know. This just sounds like the first step.
You know what?
In just a whole lot of.
I agree with that.
So, because I think of it as your phones are already so much smarter than the chip could ever be. The phones, we can tell where you are, what you're doing, what you're buying, how long you've been there. We can watch you and your privacy settings if they're on.
But you can also leave your
where
phone.
you are.
You can't leave your phone.
But if you have the chip on, the chip actually isn't. It's not tracking
but it's in
you
your
are
skin.
and what you're doing.
Oh, that's what they say.
That's what they say now. That's what they say now. Who knows what they
here
won't?
at this table trusts a company and what they tell you that the chip isn't tracking where you are.
See, I don't think company, but I actually do think parents. I would do that to my child.
Oh my God.
I would.
Oh my God.
I know, maybe this is why I'm not a mom.
I don't know you.
I would do this. I would do this to my child. Because I would be, I'm so afraid of so many things out there, and I would be so worried if my child were lost, and just like my dog.
Like your dog, okay.
Just like my dog. When I didn't want my dog to be lost, and if he was ever lost, I'd want to make sure that I could find him if someone else picked him up.
I get
so
that
I would do
part.
that to my child, too.
Let me tell y'all something. Y'all have got to keep sticking things, stop sticking things in your body. Your body was not created to have stuff implanted.
How do you know?
For
Maybe it was. Maybe
Look,
this is
if it's
exactly
You know
what
what?
we were looking for.
Ask some of those ladies who had that,
Oh my God.
what was that IUD thing they had
Well, they
stuck in their
still do that.
arm?
They
What's it
still
called?
do.
And now it's all kind of recalls and their body's jacked up. Ask them
No,
about
they
that.
still do the
That's
birth
not what your
control
body
things.
was made for.
Well,
But
look,
let me
if it's a pacemaker out of necessity,
for life,
that's different,
absolutely.
right?
But for convenience and
for
Cheetos,
convenience and Cheetos, I
come
don't think
on
so.
now.
I don't
And
think
here's another thing. This company is called 3 Square Marketing. The manager a manager there only brings home $40,000 a year.
Yeah, I'm not doing it for that
I'm
job.
about to do that for that little bit of money.
Oh God, you guys.
Well, listen,
You can make more
this
money on the pole than that, baby.
This is
so much fun
this
to be
is
the
a big
forefront of
debate.
technology.
This is a big debate between all of us. So we know you have an opinion. So we want to hear from you, and we've got a poll set up at firstcoastnews.com. So far, it looks like. Let me see if I can see these numbers.
67-33.
Creepy or awesome? 67% say creepy.
But 33% says it's okay and it's the wave of the future.
But that's
You're
the
my
difference
people.
between-
You are my people.
Those are the difference between the risk takers and the non-risk takers.
Or the
Maybe,
crazy
yeah.
people and the not crazy people.
They're not. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy.
Okay, so now we are going to move on and talk about a subject that just makes my teeth sweat.
What?
Having children in bars. Now, do y'all remember this funny clip from Sweet Home Alabama? Let's watch.
Melanie, look at you, all fancy. Look at you. You have a baby in a bar.
Now, of course, this may be funny on the big screen, but people are actually bringing their children to bars. It seems to be a growing trend, and not everyone is cool with it, of course. I'm not even going to start with Tony because she has already explained to us before the show started her blood pressure was so high. So, Dr. Lowe, I'm going to throw it to you first.
Well,
and
Dr.
then we'll
Lowe
give
has
it to Tony.
kids. She has kids, so she can
What
actually,
are your thoughts on kids being in bars?
How old are your kids, by the way?
8 and 10.
Okay, so not that long ago, they were babies. And
Yes.
even real little, where, you know, you could still bring them, I guess, into bars.
Babies, 8, 10, it's all doesn't make sense to me. I can't imagine or ever envision a scenario where that would be a good choice.
Do any of your friends, have your friends done this, like, who have had, you know, babies? And
I mean, when you're going to a restaurant, you know, for a family, like an ale house, and there might be a bar in the center, but it's a family situation going on outside, that's one thing. But I think, you know, you have to be thinking about what you're exposing your child to and the conversations you're going to have to explain for their little developing brains that don't understand that and can't make sense of that at that age. You know, and people are much less inhibited in those situations. So the conversations they're going to be around.
I'm sorry, but if you're in a bar and I'm in a bar, I talk like a sailor. I do. I have a potty mouth, right? You guys know.
Yes,
I have a potty
she
mouth.
do.
But I'm in a bar.
But you're also not expecting a child to be sitting
I'm
next
in a bar,
to you.
and I'm not cleaning it up
That's
for your
right.
kid at the
That's
bar
right.
who shouldn't be sitting
That's
at the bar.
right.
I'm not cleaning
That's
it up
right.
for you.
That's
I'm
right.
sorry. My
And
blood
how do
pressure
you
is going
explain? And how do you explain what's going on, right?
Because a
So-
lot of things could go on.
Right.
Well, let me tell you this story. So I'm at this place, a very nice restaurant, and it was in Orlando. And so I went to sit at the bar. I think we were eating there. I don't remember if we were waiting for a table. But anyway, there were like 3 or 4 children at the bar. Their parents were at a table next to the bar. Now, the restaurant was pretty empty. The parents, the whole family could have sat together somewhere else in that restaurant, but they did not. Now, because these children are at the bar, and I'm also looking for a space, and there were other people, I had to sit like toward the end in front of like where they pour the drinks, and it was a little stinky. So I'm like, okay, and I sat there, and I was not happy. So I said something to the bartender. I said, you know what, I have a problem with this, because this is a bar, and this is for adults, and because of those children, I got to sit here in front of this. And then they were really nice, like, well, we really, you know, we don't kick people out, da-da-da, and I'm like, you're children.
And you know,
But anyway.
actually...
And they actually moved the thing, so it wasn't so bad. But I have seen lots of children sitting at bars and in bars,
me too.
and
Are you
I
kidding
just
me?
say no.
Yes.
You know what, I know I can't understand completely because I'm not a parent, so I'm not going to pretend I am. I'm not. But my friends who've had children, they accept the fact that your lifestyle changes. And I just asked the question, aren't there some places that are not for children, like bars?
I agree.
Okay,
I
I'm going to
agree.
take deep breaths.
Actually, there is no law against children being at the bar.
I know.
If they are
Sorry.
with a
But you would
See,
think there would
if
be.
they're with
You
a
would
parent,
think
they
would
can
need to
be
be
there.
18 or older.
It comes
older to
down to a moral issue.
But see, I think the
it's a moral
expectation
issue. And you
is
know
that-
what? If
Well,
the
it's an
parent-
issue of not changing your lifestyle.
Well,
I
that
want to
too.
change my lifestyle.
But I mean, for the
want to be able to
parents,
go in a bar. Right.
It's a moral
I
issue.
want to go in a
If
bar with
you
my
need to
kids.
go to the bar and have a drink that bad where you're going to bring your child with you and inconvenience others, like Tony, who is not going to clean up her mouth, then you may need to go and get yourself some counseling if you can't do without that drink for that moment. I just think it's a horrible environment to put the kid in, for them to be at the bar confused. They're watching all this, they're listening to this, and it's just disgusting to me. Sorry.
Well, I think, you know, there's the expectation when there isn't a law that one could figure out, you know, through their own moral compass what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. And I think for some, I mean, there's just the pushing of the boundaries of, well, you know, you can pretty much do anything nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, there isn't a whole lot of boundaries.
And no business is going to turn your business away. Come on, really?
And
no, don't come in
they
here.
won't even, like in your situation, they wouldn't even tell the kids to kind of move over with their family to give you a paying patron.
No. Well, they were paying. They were just.
Well, their mom and them was paying. They weren't paying.
Parents are paying.
Yeah. They won't say anything.
This topic gets me heated.
Well, it warrants a conversation either way. I
Meditation.
think if it's going to be something you dive into, you need to be prepared to have those conversations and explaining to your
don't
kids
do it.
what
Just
is
don't do
going
it.
on and what they're seeing.
It's not cool. It makes, as a parent, it makes the parent look horrible. It makes the parent look horrible.
Kind of does. Okay. Moving on before I get all excited again. Coming up next, staying friends is one thing, but when does your relationship with your ex cross a line?